everyone, welcome back to another mixed media layout, and this is so cool. It turned out much better than I even envisioned. So I just grabbed some washi. I've got some normal thickness one here and a pretty wide one here that I just put in, I just stripe it down the page and sort of put it wherever I feel like there's enough gap and not all even, but not all like too random, so that it looks appealing to my eye. So my plan is to put some paint in between these layers, and then when I pull up the washi, I hope that it leaves some straight edges and it looks really nice with the paint in between, like a pattern paper background with it, with the look of and the colour that you want from the paint, to make it really stick, not really stick, to make it really go with the collections that we have. So here I'm sorry I'm off the screen, you'll see it in a moment. I've just put in the bluey green acrylic paint to the side there, and I'm just using a makeup sponge to apply it. So now I'm adding a bit of white, and each layer I add a bit more white until I get to the last few down the bottom, and I make it darker by adding more of the original green colour that we get in the mixed media kit. So just grabbing a wipe because they're handy to have when you're painting. So here I go. So I'm just dabbing it on using the makeup sponge. I'm sorry that it's shaking. And just putting it on, and it gives this really cool effect that from that sponging, it's all like textured in there rather than, you could brush it on, that would be a cool texture as well. But when it dries and I pull up the washi, it leaves that really cool texture in that paint, and it looks really cool. How many times could I say really cool? So as you can see, it's getting lighter and it's looking pretty cool. So I didn't want it to be like, it doesn't have to be exact, like you have to measure out the colour and the parts of white that you add or anything. Just want to make it just naturally flow through the colours and the shades. Just wiping the makeup sponge off a little so that it's not too dark on there, because it became really light here. So just sponging that on again. And really it is as simple as that. It is so striking and such a really cool effect that it comes up with. But it's as easy as putting some washi down and sponging some paint on. So it'd be really cool to put, to just play with this. You could have vertical stripes, you could put both horizontal and vertical stripes, you could put them as diagonal and see what you get. You could just have part of the layout with this technique done. Like, just, yeah, I think I'll be doing this a few more times and be enjoying the variety that you could get even just with the same technique. So adding some paint, making it darker now. Sorry it's off screen, I didn't realize, having troubles apparently this week with filming. So there we go. So you can see it's getting darker again, but because it's all the one colour, you don't have to muck around. I thought I might do two colours and like shade the green into the blue or something like that. Then I thought, oh, that requires too much thinking to work out how many were blue and how many were green and how it gets darker or lighter or whichever. So here we go. You can see it's getting darker again. And the cool thing is it just goes together without it looking like it, that it's perfectly grayed, like with the tones or anything like that. It just, because the tones are all the same colour and they're subtle, it just goes perfectly. So here we are pulling up the washi, and of course some of the washi stuck, but it was easy to get it off. Just peel it from the other end or whatever. The big one was so fun to take off. Actually, they're all fun to take off. Unfortunately, this one up here, the top one, the one I did first in terms of the paint, not this one, not yet. Actually, you might not even see me be able to take it off. Let's see. So here I start taking it off and it starts ripping the paper. Why? So you can see it's not a straight edge like the other ones. The other ones are like a perfect straight edge, and that one on the end, which
is like nowhere near, and I'm just like, what the happened? So I try and I cover it up again, put it on the line. It's nice that it's a line because I can line it up. And I paint it on. Lucky it was one that was just the natural colour without any white in it. And I could easily just put it on. I just don't know what happened, and unfortunately it rips again when I take the second layer of washi off. So I have to come up with another plan. But kudos for, trying and effort and whatnot, trying to fix it to make it work. And even at this stage, I don't even know what I was going to do. So while I waited for that to dry, I went and selected this photo, cut it down a little, and here you can see that it rips again. Highly disappointed because the rest is just like perfect straight lines. How, like, why, what, where, why? So then my plan B is to make it a 9x12. I didn't want to cut it any shorter because I love the length of the strips and the way it's so bold like that. But I thought if I made it a 9x12, I can keep the height and then get rid of that strip. Oh. Anyway, so it works out really well anyway, especially because I wasn't sure what kind of layers of pattern paper and embellishments that I was going to put on there. So it worked out in my favour. Sometimes when you're in the moment and you're like, that didn't work the way I wanted it, you get flustered and frustrated because you had your heart set on it and you have to change and work something else out. So here we go. I love that dark blue paper, this one with the green leaves. It's just so pretty, and I've used it on so many layouts already. It's not even funny. So I did do my usual and use my scissors to cut the paper, and then realised because of the vertical stripes, I actually need to make sure that my paper edges are more straight than they were. So I got out my trimmer and cut them. I'm just going to add the cluster here at the bottom. We're going to have fun with it there. So pull out this paper as well because it needs some of the lighter blue to match the background. And we're going to see how we can do this. And I actually use the ripped edge and put it down the bottom there. I like how the pattern paper is layered in this one. It's different layering than I normally do, which is fun. So down it goes there, and I'm going to add a banner to that greeny, leafy, bluey paper that I love so much. It's just so cool to play with the photo is thin as well as the background papers are thin as well, but then play with the positioning so that some are longer and shorter and, at each end and whatever's going on. So it's quite very fun. So just having a fiddle here with what else we've got in the kits because, as you know, we get a lot of stuff, so it's sometimes hard to narrow some things down. So I'm just having a look. I've got my stuff here in the really useful box, and I remember there's these purple. Oh my goodness, these gold mirrored letters, words and some icons. So I took out the word bliss because I thought it's beautiful for this photo, and I made sure I cut out those gold hearts with their plastic backing on them so that I could use them in some clusters because I figured that would tie the word in with the rest of the layout. So as per usual, we get so many labels. So I'm just pulling out ones that I think would be nice to mix it up with and enjoy, and add some background to my embellishment clusters. And these wooden half circles with words and phrases, yes, and pictures on them, I really wanted to use because I haven't yet used one. But I do manage to put that one up there. And it says yes! Because he's at the beach and he's loving the beach. And if he's anything like us, which he did grow up to be, he loves the beach. So he was 8 months here, and it was the first time he ever went to the beach. We went up to Brisbane for about a week or so, and we loved it. And we got to have a beach day trip, which was lovely. So just pulling out the words to have a look out of the pile of words that we've gotten with the ephemera and the exclusive ephemera. Just try to work out what I want, where I want it, before I start sticking absolutely everything down. So we get so much in this kit, it's sometimes hard to narrow down what you want to use. That, which is a good problem to have. It's like first world scrapbooking problems, of course. So using my tiny attacher to staple down the pattern paper makes it easier to attach it all at once. Down goes the photo. I think I almost not staple it, but stick it down the upside down, and that would have been not so ideal at all. So down goes the whole cluster of the photo, just using some double-sided tape. And yeah, so just, can you see that texture in that painted background? It's so cool. So yes, pattern paper can get that texture and whatnot, but it's so effective to feel that you've done that layout, the background yourself, but also that it's in the colours that match perfectly to the collection and the kit that you use. So sometimes you might want a pattern, you know, a background or whatever, and you just don't have what you need. It's nice to get out your mixed media goodness and have a play and make it your own. So just sticking down these labels, I'm going to make a cluster down the bottom here, and I'm going to add some journaling. I love that position of that word bliss there. It just goes so nicely in that little space between the photo and the banner or the pattern paper. So a label and the half circle up the top there, and I'm going to glue this down here. Sticking it all down and making sure it's where I want it to all go, and just adding them all in different layers rather than on top of each other or right next to each other, trying to add them at an angle and whatnot. I added this phrase up on foam tape, I forgot what the words were, and then I added the word incredible above bliss. So the title of this is Incredible Bliss, because it's the beach. It is incredible bliss. Oh, I want to go to the beach right now. So just try to work out where I can put some word stickers. I did want to put something up the top in that little cluster, which you can't even barely see. And there's some great colours and some great words that go with this photo, but I just can't really make them happen. So put that one there, and I'm going to glue down this incredible and the bliss. Just lining it up to where exactly I want to overlap it, and it fits perfectly there. And then adding these gold mirrored hearts again, I mean like the gold again, so that it matches the title. Mixing it up, and you know, fighting with my glue, because apparently I never do that. Not sarcasm to the max. And then we're just going to add a gold heart down here. I actually did think I wanted to put it in the top cluster, but it does work down the bottom. It'd be nice if I had 3 of them, but we can't all have what we want. Hey, that's apparently how the saying goes. All those mums out there, what do you reckon? Adding some hearts from the sticker sheet, and here, so just repositioning where so that it's not too much. And I find, oh, that's not the right one, but I find the right phrase that goes up in that top cluster pretty soon after I do some journaling. Just pretty much writing that it was his first time at the beach, and the beaches at Brizzy are amazing. And add a little bit up the top, that journaling spot up the top there, and that label, the left hand side of the photo. Once again, just looking to see what I can find to put in that cluster up the top. Just need one little more thing up there so that it just completes the whole layout. I don't need a doodly border. I don't need any like ink splatters or anything like that. So put some word up the top, put some journaling here, and we're calling it done. So I'll catch you next time. Have a great day. Bye.